It's Terry Brooks, the real estate matchmaker, and we are live to talk about the Columbia and Atlanta retail real estate market with my friend Boo Moca, and we're gonna have a great time. So, hey, and she's joining us right now, and it's gonna be so fun. Oh, hey, everybody. I see we were all excited for this live today. Me too. All right. Boo is waiting for you to come on. Let's see. I'm gonna try it again. There we
Okay.
go.
So
Hey,
sorry.
everybody.
Why is it not doing something? What's going
Yes. So I was
on?
like, let me try it again.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm new to this. So
Yes.
anyways,
I love it. And sometimes, it doesn't go through right away. Instagram sometimes can be a little temperamental, but we worked it out. How are you today?
good. I'm excited to do this. Thank you.
Yes, me too. I'm just pinning this comment in here so people can know what in the world we're talking about today as they swing through. And then we are off. Hey, everybody. So people will slowly come in and join us. And you look great. Thank you. I was like, I need a little bit of coffee. Well, it's actually milk tea, but
Oh
I
yeah.
need some caffeine.
Yum. I haven't had that before.
So
Yum.
good.
I had my cups, and then I'm drinking water now, so I don't get to talk too much, basically.
It's quite all right. Well, let's jump right in. I'm so happy to be doing this with you. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody?
So, hi everyone. My name is Boo Moca, and I am in the brokerage department at Wilson Kibler. We are a full service commercial real estate firm headquartered in Columbia, South Carolina, but we have offices throughout the state. So, my main focus is retail, but a little bit industrial as well. So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, I am Terry Brooks, the real estate matchmaker, where we specialize in all things commercial leasing and sales here in the Atlanta market, physically, but virtually everywhere. So if you guys have any questions or if you want to get to know any particular market, I have great friends like Boo all around the country that I can hook you up with. So don't be afraid to reach out. So let's jump right in. So you guys, I see some people that we know in here, some people that we might not know. So Boo and I we met through Beth Azor and Aaron Zucker's freshman TRE freshman forum. That was just a total lifeline for both of us. And
Yes. Words can't describe, how amazing. I mean, we got to meet, now
Mhm.
we're talking weekly, which is awesome.
Yes. Boo is my accountability partner, you guys. So she keeps me
Terry's
on my
my,
toes. She's like, so how's it going?
Terry can.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, so this idea came about because we wanted to, kind of talk about to share with you guys some of the conversations we've had about retail real estate in our respective markets, and just kind of like how they're similar, some of the things that we see changing, kind of what it looks like, and maybe some tips on how you guys can get into some spaces if you're thinking about getting to a real estate market, or yeah. So, Boo, what are some things that you've seen that have totally surprised you in retail real estate in Colombia?
so Columbia, I haven't been over. So here's the thing. So in January and February, we were rocking and rolling. Everything was going great. And then COVID hit, and so everything kind of slowed down a little bit. But Columbia hasn't really lost its rhythm yet. I mean, there's been changes and everything, but it's the changes have been to keep people safer, you know. So we we're still moving along, and deals are being done. The Some of the landlord concessions are a little different. You know, people are concerned about what happens if there's another government shutdown, and you know the rent, and you know the $1 million discussion of what you know. But otherwise, everything, you know, it's interesting. The Our vacancy rate has gone up a little bit, you know, but
Wow.
so is the asking rate, which I find is interesting. You know, we're open for business in Columbia. Is we're you know the capital of South Carolina, as everybody probably knows, and we're centrally located in the state. We've got 3 interstates that come through us, which is great. We're an hour and a half away from the mountains, the beach, that sort of thing. So we're a good place to up and move and come live here and visit us.
Yes.
So, I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, that was really great. And so that I'm curious. So you said that your asking rents have gone up. I haven't seen ours go up yet, except for some of landlords who may be a little bit more motivated and or desperate to like fill space because they've
Yeah,
been maybe without rent, or they like we've certainly seen a lot of midnight move outs since COVID started. Like tenants are literally leaving their keys on the counter and are gone before dawn. Right. But we haven't seen them decline, and a lot of people thought, oh, for sure the rents are going to have to fall. And I think it's like a little bit of what you said for us about being the capital and just kind of being centrally located. But they certainly haven't gone up. So can you do you have a prediction or a guesstimate on why you think some of the rents in Columbia are going a little bit higher?
my guess. I was talking to our research manager about it. My guess is that people are trying to maybe recoup what they have lost. You know, I'm not exactly. We haven't dove into it to get the details of, is it because they offered this amount of TI for this property, so they got this amount, like, but on average, they are going up, which I don't think is obviously a bad thing,
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time. I mean, it's an interesting time, I'll say. But deals are still happening. I've got 2 LOIs that are in review, and we've signed a couple leases. We've got a new nail salon operator moving to expanding, I'll say, to Columbia. They have their flagship in Charlotte. I like seeing that. So.
Yeah, and so that's what we're seeing a lot too. Still, the beauty professionals are doing really well now, because a lot of people are, especially like as soon as the doors the world opened a little bit. As soon as we cracked the door, they were booming, and then it kind of plateaued for a couple of weeks, and now it's back booming again. And I have to assume it's because people are going back to school, to college, things that some offices have started to open. that's what we're seeing a lot of, is a lot of beauty industry folks, and still a lot of restaurants, which, you know, those are the two industries that were hit the hardest. But now they're, like you said, they're signing deals and they're being successful. So what about like any like malls there? What do your malls look like
So,
now?
our malls are interesting. We have a regional mall that is just not as fresh, I'll say, to keep it positive,
Uh-huh.
as we would like. We've got other smaller malls that, we canvassed last week. We're doing Beth's canvassing challenge. So we went out
Yes.
there, me and a colleague
Wait,
of mine.
tell them about the challenge.
Okay, so the calendar challenge that we're doing, that Beth Azor told, like, has, let us know about, which is amazing, is the calendar challenge. And what we do is on August, it's the whole month of August, and on August 1st, we made one call. August 2nd, and by we, I mean like our
Yes.
leasing agent forum group, whoever chose to take the challenge, and then the second day, and so like today is the 20th, so we have 20 to do.
Woo!
Right. A lot of fun because I like, I enjoy cold calling and canvassing and getting out there and seeing everybody. And, there was a period of time when COVID was happening where that just wasn't, it was you kind of felt a little bit out of water because you felt insensitive to do those calls. And, I tried that first week when they closed the schools down and everything to try and kind of move along as normal. And the first one was pretty awkward. The second one was awkward. And the third one was, I think, what I needed, because the individual was like, do you know what's going on? And I was like, I do. So I kind of put that on the shelf for a little bit. So it's nice to be back and getting out there. So to answer your question, last week we went to a nearby mall, and it was not all the stores were open. I mean, the mall itself was open, so we could go in there, but not all the stores were open. We got one no as far as wanting to move out of the mall. And then we had a couple that were like, yes, send me a little bit more information. So whether that, transpires into anything, time will tell. But, with them having to be shut down, if they don't have the exterior door, kind of puts them in a little bit of a pickle, But anyways, the calendar challenge has been challenging.
Yes.
But great. I know. I'm
Yeah.
a little behind. 100% honest. The weekend, I slowed down a little bit, but hopefully I'm excited to see what it does. I've loved it.
Yes.
But so, anyways.
Yeah, me too. I like it's been really good, and I think it's the push that I needed, especially during this time where, you think like, oh, well, people are going to be open, to me coming by their store or their office, but I mean, most people don't look at me like I'm poison. So,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
so that's been nice.
yeah. It wasn't a rude no. It was just like, no, we're not interested.
Yeah.
Everybody else was, and I don't know if it was, lack of traffic and they just hadn't, but it wasn't. You would think that having the mask on would be awkward at first, but they have masks too, so it's just kind of the new. I mean, I hate saying the new normal, but it is our new routine to an extent. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
But things are happening. It's the news may, I mean, it's not all positive, obviously, but anyways, so.
But retail's going. So that's good. Like, that's really good. So are there any particular space footages, or that you're seeing? Like, are you seeing more of the over 10,000 square foot spaces being filled, or is it kind of more like small assets in the retail space?
So me personally, I'm seeing smaller stuff. We did have an interest for a 10,000 square foot space, but that was rare. We normally it's smaller. Like the two LOIs we have are for restaurants and 1,000. So it's so for me, it's smaller. The flex space that's been really hot right now.
Mhm.
And the retail, you would think that it wouldn't be, but it has been. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been okay, which I'm glad, So, we have REI just opened, the recreational equipment just
Yes.
opened
Yes.
Friday, and from what I've been told, they've had a lot of people coming in and out, which is good. So, and if our restaurants are open at 50% capacity as far as inside is concerned,
Mhm.
just for getting out and doing that. And I went to a restaurant for the first time a few weeks ago, and it just felt normal. Like I forgot that we were even in that situation until I looked down and saw my mask on top of my purse.
Right.
But I'm curious to see what the next few months bring with school starting. Uh,
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. And so we're open. Like so I know we're open. I've been out to eat a couple times. Most of the places that have booths and things like that, they'll have the plastic dividers between the booths. At first it was like a, half capacity, but a couple weeks ago they're just full on kind of open. Which, and they're full. They're full. At first I thought people were gonna be kind of squeamish, but they're not. They're doing really well. One of the things that I'm thinking about, though, is what's going to happen, as we move into our colder months. And how we're gonna adjust and adapt. I'm sure we'll be fine. I saw something the other day where a couple of big nationals are, testing out food trucks, which, that's very interesting and could totally change, how much retail lease space becomes available. But food trucks here in Atlanta are, those are a very common thing. And as a, food truck, you have to have a brick and mortar address, a brick and mortar location for the health department. So they'll still need prep, kind of like prep space. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna shift, and not so much doing the business at a brick and mortar, but maybe still like on the food truck side, and we'll start to see maybe more prep kitchens pop up for restaurants. So which is a, completely new business model. Well, not new, but it's not as prevalent now.
As it was.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's one of the things that so many of the retailers have been so creative in what they've been doing to keep business going. Like it really has been remarkable to see, how they've adjusted and adapted, and it's been good. It's been good, I think. So,
Yes. So tell us more. What are some things you're really excited about in the Columbia market?
I was born and raised in Columbia, and over the last few years, I feel like we are getting um, listed for like on awards and stuff like that. I feel like people,
Wow.
yeah, I can't. I wish I'd written them down, but I didn't. But I'm excited about to see where this takes Columbia. People. We do have a downtown. It's not as dense as other downtowns. We're fortunate that we've got a whole little area just of green space for people to go and eat lunch outside during the business day if they like, or on the weekend.
Nice.
We have we're the capital city with like a small town feel, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
A welcoming feel. And I'm excited to see where, I guess, to make lemonade out of lemons, to an extent. I'm excited to see what. Um, but we'll see. It's been, the calendar challenge was kind of the kick I needed to see, to get out there again, to see kind of it's not all bad.
Yes.
It's been fun. It's what I love about this business, is getting those deals done, basically. So
Yes. Are there any uses you like to see? So for me, I'd like to see, as a resident of downtown Atlanta, I'd like to see more things where I don't have to get into the car. So I like to, have a grocery store. I like to have, more restaurants, more, family friendly things to do within walking distance. And there's certainly like a lot of really great developments going on around and redevelopments going on around here. So for us, it's just going to take a little bit of time. But are there any uses that you think would kind of quicken the pace to get it Columbia to the vision that like how you envision it to be?
That's a good question. I love something with Columbia. We have a river near us, and people can tube down it and kayak, and they do kayak tours. And there's different companies that will do all of that, which I think is great. We have several different retail districts, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Bull Street, downtown, Five Points, Divine Street, Trinum Plaza, Forest Drive area.
Wait, you guys have a 5 points too?
We do, we do.
Hey!
Where it's a great little retail restaurant. It's almost kind of like a village inside of itself,
Okay.
And as far as uses for Columbia, I like where we are going with it. The family friendly thing I would like more of, but it's during COVID we had a BMX bike path made at one of the parks that we have here, and it's been used so much. I mean, it's just they the city really wants to have that live, work, play, stay. Let's move here, do business here. So, I'd be happy with any. We welcome everybody to Columbia.
Yeah.
We like all uses and everything. So it's. What about you? Do you have any that you would like to?
Yeah, I would like to have more because we certainly have a good group of restaurants, but I think a lot of our restaurants are bar focused. So in the Atlanta proper, right? So in the city of Atlanta. So a lot of our restaurants are bar focused. Well, we're not so much hanging out at the bars anymore. So that business model hasn't been sustainable for some restaurants. Like the ones who have adapted, like maybe they were known for a bar, but they had really good food. Just said, hey, well, we need to start selling more of this food. And, they added stuff like curbside service. And that really wasn't what they were known for before, which I think is really interesting. But I'd like to see more of, I'm a Jersey girl, so I like to see more different like Caribbean restaurants. Like I like to see more of those, more like ethnic foods, because we have a lot of like American bar food, so like burgers, fries. But we have a lot of vegan restaurants. I'd love to see more vegan bakeries. We don't have a lot of those. It's very few of those. I think it's like I can count on one hand how many like true designated vegan bakeries there are. So I'd like to see more of that because I think especially now in this health conscious world, like everyone's, thinking about how they can be not necessarily thinner or lose weight, but just truly internally healthy, so that they're naturally fighting vessels, right? So I think a lot of people are switching to veganism and they're going to want like a more well-rounded plate, if you will. So I think vegan bakeries, vegan ice cream shops, we're going to want to see some of those. What else? Yeah, I think the restaurants are really what's going to shape it, and grocery stores. We need more provisions places like little neighborhood. We call them bodegas. I'm from up north, so like little bodegas, to help out because if not everybody can get to the grocery store, so we do have certain pockets of like food deserts here. So I'd like to see more of those, like even if we're taking like the little vacant plots of land and we're putting little container stores, like container homes, and turning those into like provision stores so people can walk and kind of get some produce, get some water, play the lottery. I don't know. But yeah, so those are kind of some of the, like, it's a great town. I love it here, but those are kind of some of the things I want to see more of in the city.
We have on Saturday mornings, and it shut down for a while, but it's called Soda City, and it's on Saturday mornings. I think it's from like 9 until 2, but all these local, and it started off at like one block on Main Street, and it just keeps getting larger because there's all these local talented vendors with different, like there's just just different vendors, but
Yes.
there's a farm one that you can go and fill a box up with vegetables for like $10. Like it's just a
Wow.
good feel of Columbia going and seeing that. Um, we're we're a city that cares about each other. I
Yes.
saw the other day that the city has put up designated parking signs, like the city has, for restaurants for their carry out, and I love that energy that they're doing to help, not just the landlords helping their tenants, but the city is like, we got to help too. I mean, this is
Yes.
what can everybody do to help each other, so I don't
Yes.
know.
And so I wanna pause there for a second too. So I know we have some commercial realtors watching us, and I want to tell them about this fabulous tip that you gave me the other day since we were talking about farmers markets and produce boxes. So I was telling Boo, so my results from the calendar challenge, I'm like, nobody wants to play with me. So I'm beginning like some, and Boo gave me this fabulous idea that said, well, why don't you go out to some of the farmers markets, and see if you can prospect them, as tenants, because they have businesses, they're out here, they're making money, they might be ready to move into a brick and mortar space. And I thought that was absolutely fabulous. So we're actually starting this weekend to go and prospect some farmers markets. So if you guys, wherever you guys are, if you've been hitting the wall like me, or maybe you just want to add it to your prospecting, I thought that was such a great idea. I was like, oh, it's like a light bulb moment. Like, oh yeah, ha.
I mean, that's why, it's this is COVID is opening the doors to everybody's creativity and
Yes,
getting out of just getting out there and doing it. This
yes,
too will end. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. So that's
that's
just
right.
that's our mantra. That's what
Yes.
you have to do. You do what you have to do.
Yeah, it's true, and I say it all, like the winnings are gonna go to the bold in this thing. You can't be afraid to try something and fall on your face. Once or twice or 10 times. You have to just get back up. Especially if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like just take a break, take a breather, get something to eat. Meditate, pray, and then get back on it. Yeah, and then get back on it, because you're going to be successful, especially now where but what I'm seeing in the Atlanta market, some people are deciding to try other career paths instead of doing the retail commercial real estate business. Are you seeing that too? Are you seeing any like retail realtors or agents make a shift?
I have not yet. Not yet. No. Are you're seeing a lot of that?
I am seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing some people are not completely, like some people are completely leaving, but some people are, maybe switching to property management instead of the leasing or sales side. Some people are switching to consultant based kind of work where they're advising on investments, not for like necessarily owner occupied leasing and sales, but just advising on investments. Some people just they're like, man, we're going to do like get the Matterport camera and I'm going to make a business out of taking pictures of real estate for people. So some people aren't completely leaving, but a lot of people are like, this is for the birds.
Yeah.
It's hard out here, and it is. It is. We're like we are completely like on the other side of the spectrum of like must have commercial retail real estate in our life. So that's like we're booing out, right? Must have. We feed off of it, but a lot of people are like, no, I'm good. I'm going to make a shift, and so I mean that's cool too. But I was very surprised to see. I'm seeing it more now that I think it's been about 6 months or so. And
Yeah.
so people are like, I gave it the good old college try. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, and Atlanta's larger than Columbia, so maybe y'all are just
Yes.
ahead of that, compared to us. I'm curious to see with schools starting back and everything. I'm curious to see how things will shake with that. We're home to the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks! But they're here. And the traffic is picked up, and it is obvious on the roads that that they're here, which is great. The city and the
Yes.
university work really well together as far as keeping the students safe, and then the community, all of us as a community safe. They've implemented curfews for everybody. And there's more silver lining to an extent than I think some people might think. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
there's some casualties as well,
Yes.
fortunately, but I'm staying positive and keep my head in the game kind of thing.
That's right. Must have
Yeah.
little retail real estate robots.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I love it. Well, we have come to the end of our time together. So do you have any last words and then for the group, and then before you do that or after you do that, whatever, tell us your name again, tell us where we can follow you on social media and connect with you on LinkedIn.
I'm Boo Moca with Wilson Kibler, and out of our Columbia office in South Carolina. I am Boo Moca on LinkedIn, and I think it's BK Moca on Instagram. But y'all come check out Columbia. It's
Yes.
come see what this jewel is about. I born and raised here, and I decided to raise my children here. And I'm looking forward to the future of Columbia. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for having me. It's so awesome.
Yes. It is so awesome. And I gotta come up there and visit you. I've been to South Carolina, but I've never been to Columbia. So I do need to come visit you. And you are super welcome to come and visit me, and we'll have a lot of fun here.
I will. It'll be
Yes.
come on down. It'll be
Yes.
fun.
Well, I'm Terry Brooks, the real estate matchmaker. Before I leave, I just want to point out my shirt that says Sylvia Strong. It's a dear friend of mine. She is currently kicking cancer's ass. You guys do what you can to support the women in your lives that you love that may be kicking ass or kicking cancer's ass, and just bring awareness to the cause. So we love you, Sylvia. Sylvia Strong. So I'm Terry Brooks, real estate matchmaker, and we are again here in the Atlanta market. Boo is in Columbia. If you guys have any follow-up questions from our conversation, our time together, DM either one of us. You can find me here on Instagram at Terry_the real estate matchmaker and Terry Brooks on LinkedIn. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you, Boo. You are awesome. Yes. So bye. Well, I'll see you soon. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, y'all. I don't know how to hang.